Summer has come and gone. The innocence never last. Wake me up when September ends. Hi.
Hello. Welcome back to Engaged and Divorced.
We're rusty today. The podcast where I wear the rings.
I'm not trying to figure out these damn things.
I forgot to wear my rings again today. Oops.
So you don't wear rings. It's a lie. It's all a lie.
I forget to put it on sometimes.
Your ring is so pretty. Why do you forget to put it on?
Because when I go to the gym, I don't like to wear it. It stresses me out.
That makes sense.
And then I'll like come home and shower and stuff, and then I just forget to put it on.
Are you trying to get random guys to hit on you?
No, especially not at the gym.
Not a place you want to meet one.
Yeah.
How are you all today?
Yeah.
Happy September the
20th.
Wow.
What?
It's September 20th already?
Oh, wow. Where did September go? I just
No, but for real.
blinked.
Like how is it
I
like
don't know.
3 months until the year's over?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I don't get it.
Are we like at a time warp?
Yeah, like time is not real. I've realized
Ever
recently.
since 2020 happened though, like
yes,
time is just like fast forwarded extra.
Exactly. Before 2020, it felt like a normal year.
Felt normal.
And now
maybe we're just getting older.
Oh my God, that's so depressing. So when you're like 70, what does a year feel like? 2 days?
I was just talking to both the grandparents about this the other day.
Oh, perfect.
And they maybe we should bring them on the podcast to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she was like, it just gets worse as you get older. And I'm like, well, it's already bad. So I don't even want to like imagine what that's going to be like.
Oh, that stresses me out.
For those of you that can see us today, look at this. Kylie and I both, number one, straightened our hair. And number two, put makeup on.
Yeah.
The fact that we like did both of those things today is a miracle.
And we're wearing girly colors today.
We look like Disney princesses.
Yeah, we're wearing purple and pink.
Yeah, it makes me very happy to see these colors
I
together.
almost wore my mushroom earrings, for real.
Nuh-uh.
I have these little blue ones I almost wore.
No.
I'm not kidding. But then I was like, they don't match, so I wore my hoops. Yeah.
We're like sisters.
But mine aren't as big. But yeah, I would have almost worn mushrooms today too.
Hallie. We're like sisters.
What's other one's name?
Annie.
Jenna? Oh.
Annie. Jenna.
I don't know.
We're like twins. So today we're just gonna
talk.
Catch you guys up on life a little bit.
Yeah.
Kylie, you just went to Disney. How did that go? Let's hear all about it.
Can you tell? No, I'm just kidding. Every time I go to Disney, I always have to get a new sweater, and this one is the 100-year one, so it's super exciting. Anyway,
I was walking 30,000 steps a day.
Oh my God, it's so fun. You can ask me to go on a run, I'll be like, no. You can ask me to go on a hike, I'll be like, ugh. But when you say you want to walk around Disney from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., I'm like, yeah.
That sounds awful.
No, like how it usually goes is the first day we're feeling good, right? We're getting into the parks. We're like, let's go. So I went with my best friend, and we've been trying to plan a trip for a while because we had never been on a trip together before, and we've known each other since we were 3, so like 23 years. So we felt like it was time. So we went to Disneyland together, and the first day, because there's 2 parks. So if you don't know, we went to the one in California. There's 2 parks. There's California Adventure and then Disneyland. And we went to Disneyland the first day, but we had hopper tickets, so we could go back and forth. We decided just to stick with that for the first day. And we knocked out a lot, like all of the big rides. What's really nice, if you haven't been to Disney in a while, because they have Disney Plus now, not Disney Plus, scratch that.
The app. The Disney Park app.
Because why did I say Disney Plus? Genie Plus. Genie Plus like allows you to not have to wait in line as long. It's kind of like the Fast Pass, but you get on a wait list. So like Haunted Mansion was the most popular ride right now because of, Halloween, but also for the holidays, they decorate it for Nightmare Before Christmas. So we did that ride second because we were like, we know we have to get on that right away because at night it's like 2-hour wait. So we put our Fast Pass in, right when we got there, and then we were able to get on it right away. So
you did a lot of research, in other words.
Yeah. And what's really nice too is the app shows you all the wait times. So if you're like, I feel like back in the day, you had to walk to each ride and see like how long's the wait. Oh, it's too long. I guess we have to walk all the way back. But now it's like you can just look on your app and see
that
it
is
all.
nice.
So yeah, we knocked out, I would say probably mostly every ride on the first day.
Are you
were
serious?
there. Yeah, we were there until
Like every ride you wanted to do, or just every ride?
Yeah. I mean, we skipped like Toontown and stuff. Well, actually, we went to Toontown because we were curious since they just like revamped it.
Yeah.
And when I was there last year, it was closed, so it was kind of cool. I mean, I didn't notice.
Does
any
Minnie
big
still have the really
difference.
cute pink and purple house?
Yeah,
Love that house.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. But what was also fun is all the characters dress up for Halloween. And they're all wearing like cute like magician costumes
they're
and
supposed
stuff.
to be wearing like Halloween
Yeah,
costumes.
they have a new costume every year.
All
so.
like everyone, or just like Mickey and Minnie and Goofy?
Oh, just Mickey
them?
and Minnie, because otherwise I think people wouldn't recognize the other characters.
Cinderella's dressed up as a witch.
Mickey walked past us, and when I say he was shorter than me, he was short.
Oh yeah, because
Jamie was like, he's the
they
shortest.
hire people like 5 feet or less.
Jamie was like, he's the shortest guy I've ever seen. She didn't even notice him because she's like super tall. Which was also nice. Go with a tall person, because then when you get lost, because there's a big crowd, I would just look up and I would see your head and I'd be like, there she is. So
Oh man.
my favorite ride at Disneyland is the Haunted Mansion. I love that ride. Although I do like it better without all the Nightmare Before Christmas decorations. It was cool to see that version of it. We also got to go to Tiana's new restaurant, Tiana's Palace. Best food ever. So good.
Now, do they have Splash Mountain at Disneyland or just at Disney World?
Well, they closed it
They
because
closed it. Yeah, but are they still working on it?
Yeah, we saw people working on it. All right, we saw the construction people.
Oh,
this guy
man.
was wearing a harness, so I was like, I don't know what he's doing up there. So it's opening next year. We don't know when, but next year at some point.
Cool.
So, but yeah, Tiana's Palace, the really good food.
Does it taste like Southern Louisiana style?
I thought
comfort
so.
Cooking?
Yeah, I thought so.
Is that the point of it?
Because usually when people make gumbo, I have to add like hot sauce to it, and this time I was like, wow, they actually seasoned it up. So it was really good.
This isn't your white person's gumbo.
Yeah,
okay?
no. 10 out of 10 recommends it. We went like 3 days after it opened, so it was packed.
I noticed that.
Yeah, we waited in line for like 40 minutes, but it was worth it. So,
Nice.
And then
How was California Adventure?
that was fun too.
What's going on that's new there?
But real quick, let me just say something real quick about
Okay.
Disneyland. The worst ride, Matterhorn. I hate that thing.
Oh, I hate it too.
You're just like,
It's so jerky.
it's not made for adults.
No, I don't like it. I don't think it's made for anybody, to be honest.
And honestly, I think I like my thumb is still cracking. I like banged it against something during the ride, and I thought it was broken. I was just like, ah!
I broke my finger on the Matterhorn.
And so like it still like cracks when I move it. I don't know what I did to it.
What?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I hit my head on that ride too.
yeah,
Like
it's
when you're
wild.
going forward, and then he like pops out. And he's like, "Ooh!"
Yeah,
And then you go backwards really fast.
it also felt more intense as a kid. I feel like, because I know they made some changes to it, and I feel like they changed it to where it was more suitable for kids and like took some of the scariness away.
Yeah,
It's just lame, but like it's one of those, it's a classic, they can't really like get rid of it.
I think somebody died on that ride once.
Yeah, that was the one where someone got beheaded, I'm pretty sure. Not beheaded, decapitated. No one cut their head off, but so yeah, first day was Disneyland, second day was California Adventure, which I love California Adventure because Pixar. I love Pixar.
Oh, is that so? They have like all the Pixar stuff there. I haven't been
Yeah.
to California Adventure since like 2000.
Okay.
One.
Yeah, so it's completely different than what it used to be. They still have Soarin'. We did Soarin' first.
Yeah,
Soarin' over the world. You get to go through and you smell grass and stuff. It's pretty
I love
cool.
that ride.
Yeah, it's really fun. So we knocked out that one first, and then the Cars Land is my favorite. I love Cars Land. It feels like you're in the movie. It's so cool. And then they made the pavement look like you're on the street, like you're walking through a street.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looks like you're in Radiator Springs. And the Cars ride was super fun too. I didn't get to do that last year because it was so like, it's a really popular ride that everyone loves.
Okay.
So usually the wait time is an hour and a half or more, and you cannot get a Genie Plus for it. So
Of course not.
yeah, so we went on that, and it was really cool. Like you go through getting ready for the race, so they like pretend to put new tires on you and stuff, and then you actually race. and you're outside and there's like, you know, the rocks and stuff. It's a fun ride.
Aw.
Yeah, I love Cars Land. And then Lightning McQueen like rolls around and talks to you and stuff. So it's really cool.
Nice.
Pixar Pier has like all the Toy Story stuff and whatnot. We saw like all the Toy Story characters, which was cool. And my favorite ride is over there, Incredicoaster, the best. It used to be, you know, the one that used to be like Mickey ears.
Yeah,
It's that they just changed it. So now
is it still the Mickey ears though?
Well, no, now it's the Pixar ball, and then you're going
Okay.
around like the Toy Story ball. Yeah.
Okay.
But we love that ride. We went on it like 7 times. Because if you go in the morning, no one's there yet, so you can get on it really fast. So we love that ride. Definitely the best ride there. And then they also have Avengers Campus. That's like the last part of it. So, I mean, they still have like Hollywood Studios, but it's like shorter, like smaller than it used to be. Avengers Campus obviously has all the Avengers stuff, and the most terrifying ride, in my opinion. It's one of those where it just drops. It's the old Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
don't like that.
Yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's fun. Like, as much as I hate that ride because it makes me feel like I'm literally dying, it's fun. Like afterwards, I'm always like, that was fun.
It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
Like when you're on it, you're like, I hate every second of this.
Right.
And then afterwards, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's the falling. Ugh,
For me, it's the
feeling.
thought of it, like waiting in line and just being like, I'm about to feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's so fun, and they made it more fun than the Tower of Terror was, because I didn't like it because it was just like, it's kind of like scary as a kid because I went on it at a younger age and I was like, ah. But with Guardians of the Galaxy, they wanted to add some humor to it as well because it's a very like funny movie. So as you're falling, there's like fun rock music playing and you're just going up and down. Like it just drops you up and down, but it drops you like pretty far down. But the thing I wanted to say about that was for Halloween, they actually have a different version of that ride called Monsters After Dark, and it's like 10 times more intense. And when I tell you, I almost had a heart attack.
So it's the exact same ride, but they change up the screen?
They change
because it's like a screen that you're watching while
Yeah, so they change the storyline, they change the screen, and then they have like screamo music playing. And so you're just like, you're so overstimulated and it's so chaotic.
Oh my gosh.
And they added more drops to it as well. I swear on everything, because we were sitting there and I'm just like,
is it more
I'm ready
scary
for this.
and stuff?
It's very intense. It was a lot of fun, but afterwards I was like, that was enough thrill for me. I can go on any roller coasters, but it's those drops that get me every time. So, but yeah, it was fun. And then the third day we kind of went to Disney and California Adventure. We kept that day more chill because we were both very tired and just kind of did like shopping, and then Roger Rabbit, like different rides that we didn't get to do the other days. We rode Indiana Jones again, you know, all
Classic.
Space Mountain, the classics. And then we got our tattoos.
Oh yeah.
So
it's your very first tattoo.
yeah, I got 2 tattoos one day. So I
guess you can't really show them off on the podcast. It'd be kind of hard.
Yeah, no. I mean,
you
I
can show the one on your wrist.
I can show that. It's just
Okay,
Mickey
I like
ears.
that. I haven't actually seen these in person yet. I like the size of this.
Yeah.
That's the perfect size.
Yeah, that's why. At first, he gave me one that was like this big, and I was like, "No, let's go smaller."
And you didn't want to put it in the middle
No,
of your wrist? You wanted it on the side?
Yeah, because I might add something here. Like, I really want to get like a big flower or something, or like vines. I don't know. But yeah, I knew
So
that.
how was it? Did this one hurt right here?
No, it was nothing. So I went first because Jamie had already gotten like 3 tattoos before, so she's like, you know, she's a pro.
She's a pro now.
And I was so nervous. Like, I was like nervous that I was gonna get dehydrated or something from like panicking so much. I don't know why I got nervous beforehand. I have a really high pain tolerance, so like I really shouldn't have been that worried. But I got it like on my ankle, and it's like the gondola and then the lanterns from Tangled, if you've ever seen that movie. And so I got it like on the side of my ankle, and it hurt real bad. And I've heard that that's like a hard place to get one. There's a lot of tissue there. So, yeah, I was kind of laying like this the whole time and squeezing a pillow, and just made Jamie talk to me the entire time. Like, she was just telling me random things, and I'm just like, yeah.
So that one did hurt. That one was
yeah, that one was painful because like I got a bunch of dots to show like the lanterns far away, and so every time he did that, I could feel it like it was like someone's drilling into you. But that's like, it went fast. It only took like maybe 30-40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't know he was done. He was like, all right, go look at it. I was like, oh, okay. And then she got a tattoo at the same place on her ankle from it's like Princess and the Frog tattoo, is like a flower and stuff. And she also was in pain. She's like made the same face as me, so I had to talk to her. And I was just like, so how's the weather? Like, I don't know. We were just like saying random stuff just to like not think about the pain. But it wasn't that bad. And then once he did my wrist one, I felt nothing. This one did not hurt at all.
Yeah.
So, and it only took like 3 minutes. So yeah, it was good. I literally looked up like tattoo places closest to Disneyland and chose that one, and it was a good one.
Do they have that happen a lot? That was my
question. They've done. They
probably have a lot of people come over and ask for Disney themed tattoos.
Our guy was awesome. He was from Japan, and he was like, you guys live here? We're like, no, we're from Colorado. We're just here for a few days. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I asked him, I was like, do a lot of people randomly get Disney tattoos? And he's like, not always Disney, but there's a lot of tourists that come here. So yeah, I think it's popular to do. But then they what's really cool now is they just wrap it up. So they just put wrap over it, and then you just let it sit for 4 days. I didn't have to clean it or anything. It was nice, because usually you have to worry about it getting infected and stuff. But you just keep the wrap on. You can get it wet. It's not a problem. And then after 4 days, you just take it off.
Nice.
So, okay. And the one on my ankle like still kind of hurts when I touch it. And it's still
a tender spot.
And you can still feel it. You can
I touched that earlier and I was like,
yeah.
Is it supposed to feel like that?
It does for a while. And then once because it's going to fade too. It's not going to be as bold. Yeah. So, but yeah. So after that, we went back to California Adventure and went on Incredicoaster, got ice cream and left, and just kind of chilled at the hotel, fell asleep early. And
then you got sick.
I did. Yeah. I was actually feeling sick that night because we were supposed to leave the next morning, and I started feeling a tickle in my throat, and I was like, oh no. Yeah. It's like impossible to not get sick.
Right. Because you're like on the rides and people are coming in and out so much. You're like touching the rails.
Yeah. And in the older rides, they're very close by. Like all of the lines are like, you're standing right next to the people, and you're in this confined space. And when I tell you, these kids are just coughing all over the place, like,
oh yeah.
So, but yeah.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
You don't want to get sick, don't go to Disney.
Yeah. So when I got home the next day, I like just went straight to my bed. It was just like, let's sleep.
Yeah. Could have been on the walking and like just go.
Yeah.
That takes a toll on your body too.
I think my body really just wanted a break. It was just like, all right, let's chill for a sec. So, but it was nice. A lot of fun. So cool. I'm glad we did it. But
sounds like a fun experience.
Yeah. I'm like, now I'm sad because I always get sad after Disney because I'm like, when am I going next?
Yeah.
I'm already thinking of that.
Family vacation in 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, I want to go to Disney World next because I haven't been there in years. So
that Eden and Jude are an expert in.
Yeah, they go a lot.
Their dad's family lives there, so they go to Disney almost every time they go to Florida.
Yeah,
they're spoiled little kids.
Well, and if you go to Disney World, you have to spend like a week there because it's so big.
If you want to see everything,
yeah, it's so big, and they're always adding stuff. That's why I like Disneyland better. It's more classic.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Have you been?
Well, I had a really hard week last week. And I decided to start writing down everything I was feeling and thinking.
Okay, good.
To talk to and bring to my therapist, which, by the way, I don't really know if I've updated everybody on that, but like my therapist passed away back in October of last year, and then it took me a really long time to find a new therapist because it was just really sad to like think about replacing her, even though nobody's going to replace her. But then I finally got a therapist, I want to say in May.
Okay.
April or May.
Yeah.
Maybe even before that. I don't know how long it's been at this point, but I really love my therapist. She's like my age. She's just really great. She's so like, the way she talks calms me. She's like my boyfriend. The two of them can calm me down. But anyways, I was like writing everything I was feeling down because it's just felt like a lot. And I brought it all to her, and I've been officially diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and PTSD, which I pretty much assumed I had both.
Yeah.
So now it's just getting treatment. You know, it's like PTSD is a lifelong thing, but you can find ways to combat the triggers and manage it a little bit more easily.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just like really itching to just like heal, because I'm like it's just a lot. I feel really tired.
Does she also like, does she help with that, like PTSD? Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was gonna say, I know there's therapists that like help with that specifically.
Yeah.
So,
well, I asked her yesterday on our session. I was like, should I also be like going to other therapies, because I've heard a lot of great things about CBT.
Yeah.
Cognitive behavioral. I think. And that like retrains your thought process. And then also EMDR that Megan was talking about when we had her on the podcast. Eye movement something. But she said that she kind of already does CBT, and she's been doing CBT with me this whole time, which I didn't really realize it, but it's she does a lot of like worst case scenario, best case scenario things with me, because I immediately jump at worst case scenario, because that's just my anxiety going crazy. And so she is like, let's think about it. Like when I went on the road trip, when I took the kids to New Mexico, I was very anxious about that. And she was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? What's the best thing that can happen? So we went over that. And I feel like that helped me gain perspective, because it was like, if the worst thing happens, which is my car breaks down or something, what am I going to do in that moment? Like to have like a backup plan, but not stress out about if it happens.
Because at least you're prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So she's been doing CBT with me for a while. So we're just going to continue doing that.
Yeah, that's good. At least you kind of know like direction to go in, you know?
It was really validating for sure to realize I'm not going crazy, because that's what it feels like. Just, it's like, it's been 2 years that I've been separated. Like, how am I still replaying things? Why am I still here? Why is my head still here? And it's like, well, I was married for 12 years. Like, that's a long time. You got to untangle that stuff for a while. And I think, you know, other things played a role in it other than my marriage as well. Like being in a car accident right before I got married, which I don't think I've healed from, because even being in cars now makes me really anxious.
Yeah.
And then church stuff, going through all that. So I think it's like just a lot of things that are just compounded that I've never gotten help for. So I'm really glad to do that. And I'm happy to hear that I'm struggling for a reason. And it's not just like, I'm just going to struggle forever. Like, I feel like this gives me hope and a little bit more peace. So I actually felt really good once I found that out.
That's so good. Yay. That's a win for sure.
Sorry, I'm just telling you while we're...
I know. I forgot that we were recording. I feel like we're just having a conversation.
I was gonna tell you like earlier this week, but
this is the first time we've seen each other in a couple weeks. I feel like so.
Which, by the way, this podcast is now bi-weekly. In case you haven't been able to tell, we do 2 episodes a month now instead of 4, just because
it's a lot.
Lives are, you know, busy. And this is more manageable for us, I feel like. But yeah, that's my life. So I feel like for me, it's really, really hard to think positively about anything in life. I kind of feel like my mind's just blank all the time. It's like the best way I can describe it. Like I'm here, but I'm not here.
You think you just like don't want to get your hopes up? Or is it just like,
I think you're
just so worried?
No, I'm just going through the motions of life. Like I'm in a brain fog.
Okay.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like sometimes I'll feel other things, but I feel like for the most part, I'm just kind of in this neutral place of just going through the motions, really.
Yeah.
And so watching your stories on Instagram and like hearing you talk, I'm like, I want that, like all the positivity that you have, you know, but I feel like I like can't get there mentally right now. And maybe that's just for now. I don't know, but it's like, I listened to all of your things about like manifestation and stuff, and I'm like, I need more of that in my life.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I started getting into it. 'Cause like I've also always been a worrier. Like, I think we talked about it when mom and dad were on the podcast, and mom was like, you cried all the time about everything. Cause I was like so scared of everything. So, I've really had to like change my mindset and like really focus on that. And it's a daily struggle. Like even yesterday I was like worried about everything, and I'm like, I just worked through this. Like, I already worked through all of this. So it's definitely like, I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard.
It feels like it might be one of those things where it's just like you kind of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like the more that you think positively about something, the more your brain will automatically go there.
Yeah.
Naturally. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like with manifestation, you have to trust the process. You know, like if you're manifesting something exciting happening, like I always think of like my coaching business, like getting big and whatnot, since I like recently started that. And I'm like thinking of the future and like, oh man, I'm hoping to do all this and this and this. I want to inspire this many people and have this many people like buy my programs and stuff. But like at this point right now, I'm just like posting to post, you know, and it's like, how do I trust the process? But with manifestation, you kind of just like picture yourself already getting there and thinking of like, okay, I do have what it takes to be successful. I do have what it takes. I deserve this. That's a big thing. And because I feel like you either have the mindset where it's like, I can't get there. That dream is too big. But everyone else says like, don't give up on your dream. And that's hard to do, obviously. And then you hear people say like, because I didn't give up, because I persevered, I got there. And it's like, but what if you don't? What if you don't get there? So it's like this constant struggle. But then I heard someone say like the only way you fail is if you give up. And I think that's true, because you don't know unless you fully try, put your all into it. So,
and also changing the way that we view failure as well.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that failure is a part of the process.
For sure.
And you have to aim for failure, because that means you're doing something right. Because it's bringing you closer to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Most of us grew up thinking that like failure is the worst possible thing that could happen. You know?
It's
when
true.
it really builds character, and it's something that you should be excited to fail.
Yeah. I go through that every day as the like business owner, and I'm sure you understand with being a creator. It's like you're just like constantly thinking of that. Like, if this all goes downhill, like what am I going to tell people? What am I going to do next? And I always felt like I like wanted to do something like this, but I wasn't sure like for what audience. And so it could lead to a whole different thing, you know, and just kind of like going through the process of that. But I mean, I'm also manifesting in other parts of my life, but that's definitely like the biggest thing that I'm trying to focus on, because I give up on things really easily when I'm not getting instant gratification.
I think we all do. Yeah. I think that's pretty relatable.
So
yeah. It's like seeing you post consistently and be so positive has like inspired me, because I'm like 10 years into being a creator, and I've gone through my burnout. I've gone through like, should I do this anymore? You know, especially in the last year or two. And just feeling like I'm an imposter. Like nobody actually wants to listen to anything I have to say. Nobody cares. Like, I don't know. That I dealt with that my whole life, and I think being in a job, or like not having it as a job, just having it as part of your life where you have people that follow you and take advice from you or whatever, you're going to constantly be like, I don't think I'm like called to do this. I don't think that I have what it takes.
Doubting yourself and stuff.
Yeah. And I think like if everyone was just honest about that we all feel that way.
Yeah.
I think maybe we'd feel that way less.
That's true.
Because we look at everybody else and we're like, man, they really got their shit together.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we're all struggling, and I think we're all just like trying to find our way and our purpose. And we all have a voice for something different. There's nobody like you.
Exactly.
Or you. watching this.
That's what I try to preach too, because like I follow a lot of like digital marketers and stuff that are just constantly like, buy my product, buy this, and then they're making like millions of dollars, and I'm just like, but they're like not actually like inspiring their audience or like not making a connection with their audience, so that's not really sustainable. So
Totally.
I'm trying to also show like that I'm a real person and like there's a lot going on, you know, and like I like to show the struggles and like the good things, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But
from what I've observed, I feel like when you're really authentic with your audience and you share the good and the bad,
yeah,
you actually grow at a more slow rate.
Mhm.
Whereas if you were just doing it for entertainment purposes or for shock value or whatever, like a lot of people do, you grow a lot more fast. But like, where are the roots going? Like,
exactly.
you have 10 million followers, but like, are your roots going deep? Like, are you making an impact? Are you making a purpose?
And then the second you do something wrong, you're canceled and everyone hates you. So
right.
like,
we're all just like one incident away from being canceled, to be honest. So
you have to be real. Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard part too. In the course that I took, it taught me like literally everything, but they were talking about how like not everyone's going to be your client, and that's okay. Like not everyone wants to work with you, and that's totally fine. Like if they don't like that you cuss, that's fine. They don't have to choose you.
Right.
But they might like that relatability. Because at first I was like, so I have to like put on a show and be like, okay, this is who I am. But then I was just like, no, I'm just going to be myself. And whoever doesn't like it, I don't care.
Right. Because it's exhausting trying to be somebody that you're not.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, does this conversation make sense?
No, it really does.
Okay, good.
I think a lot of people can relate to this.
I feel like we jumped
speak
from
for
like one
everybody.
thing to the next. So
No, I mean, that's fine.
yeah.
I wanted to just, like highlight just the differences of like where we are. I mean, that's where this podcast is, it's like what it was founded on is like,
yeah,
we're in different places in life.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I hate being in like this mindset that I'm in, and I don't want to stay here.
Right.
And like, I want to get the help.
Yeah.
And I did sit the kids down and like apologize to them because they're in direct effect of like my mood swings, or 1 second I'm okay and the next I'm dissociating and like staring off into space and like not connected. And they've noticed, they've picked up on that. Just Eden called me out last week because if there's one huge pet peeve I have, it's drivers, especially when people cannot drive.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it makes me so aggravated, and I am not quiet about it.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm teaching the kids what a good driver is. If they know that guy cut me off, that he's a bad driver, they won't do it. But somebody like just cut me off out of nowhere, and I was just like, are you kidding me? I don't even know what I said. And Eden was like, Mom, you really need to have some more grace with people.
Oh.
And I was like, no, I don't. This is a really crappy driver. I don't need to have grace with them. And she's like, you don't really know what they're going through, or like how their day has been. And I'm like, I wanted to be like, shut up. Stop being so perfect.
Right.
Okay. Let me have my low moment.
She's so wise.
Yeah. But man, I've been thinking about that ever since, especially like that day. I was just like, ugh.
Oh,
dang. Like she really got in there. And, that was one of the days when I was like, yeah, maybe I should get some help, because I'm like set off by everything, and I don't want my kids to be healing from the trauma I never healed from. And like passing that on.
The kids, then generational. Generational thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you sat down with them.
Yeah, just to explain everything.
That's good. That's also good to like be honest about how you're feeling and what you're going through too, so that your kids aren't just like, what's going on?
See, and I feel like that's something that our parents didn't do a lot of. And I remember being young, like Eden's age, and begging our parents, can you guys tell me like your struggles? Tell me like stuff you've been through, like share that stuff with me, because to me it made them feel more real. And But mom was always like, I can't tell you the bad things I've done because you're just going to copy me and get ideas in your head. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any logical sense.
Get ideas.
I want to know all the things you did. Like, I want to hear about all your mess ups. I want to know about all that stuff. Because I think it's important for kids to know too, so they know how to handle it when they deal with it. Because as much as I hate to even think about this, my kids are going to get beat up by the world. Like, the world's going to knock them down. They're going to go through some really crappy times. They're going to go through hardship. They're going to feel a lot of things that I have been feeling. And it's up to me to show them how to handle it. And sometimes you don't really know how, but like being honest about it.
Well, then they know that they can talk to you about it too.
Yeah.
Because when you don't see your parents going through a lot, you just seem like, okay, well, like they don't know what it's like to feel this way.
Yeah.
But when they're honest and they're like, hey, I'm going through this right now, then when you're going through that, you can tell them the same thing, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, there's so much messaging about like being strong for your kids, right? Yeah. And like picking up, what's the phrase? Picking your bootstraps, picking you up by their bootstraps. I don't know.
Something
Anyways,
like that.
just going and like being strong and like ignoring the negative emotions, ignoring how you feel or whatever, and just like sucking it up and going forward because your kids need you to be strong. Yeah. Your kids don't need to know every detail of everything. Like, there's boundaries, right? They don't need to know like my kids don't know details about the divorce. They don't know details about my relationship with my ex.
Yeah, you don't have to tell them everything.
Right. Yeah. I don't like dump everything on them. But when it comes to something like this, I'm like, I feel like it's really important for them to see that. Yeah. And to know that, yeah, I'm struggling and I'm honest about it, and hopefully that'll give them permission to struggle as well.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it will. Proud of you.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't know if we were like gonna like touch palms or if we were just high five.
I was gonna hold your hand and then I was like, we'll just go for the quick high five.
Oh, so yeah. That's this week. I feel like there was something else I was gonna mention on this podcast and I can't remember now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Whatever.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Oh, I do want to say that I have the greatest boyfriend for this season of my life. Like, yeah. I mean, in general, he's great, but like, didn't even faze him, you know? Mm-hmm. When I told him this, he's like, yeah, I could see that. Just from what I know. He's like, I could have said that's what you had. I'm like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a journey. And he's like, yeah, it will, but I'm here.
Aw.
I'm like,
obsessed. I love that.
I know. Because there's just been so many moments where I'm like, really? You really want to deal with this? Yeah. I don't want to deal with it. So the fact that you're volunteering as tribute to be with me, it's wonderful.
Aw.
Yeah, he's so like just patient and like understanding, and has never ever made me feel less than for any of my mental health struggles. Mm-hmm. And that is a healthy relationship. Yeah. Your partner should never make you feel less than for your struggles. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, that makes me so
super
happy.
New for me, but I'm just really grateful for him. So.
I could cry.
Me too. I cry all the time.
My period's coming, so
just blame that.
Yeah.
Well, should we end the episode here?
Yeah, I guess so. If y'all are going through something, just know it's normal. It's okay.
It's part of being human.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I encourage you to talk to someone about it.
Definitely talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just can't imagine going through this alone. Mm-hmm. And people do it all the time. Yeah. And then it just... 12 years becomes 20 years, becomes 30 years, becomes 40 years. Like, right. You know, it just adds up and it builds up. Like, this isn't going to go away. your struggles that you're facing right now are not going to go away on their own. I've heard so many people say like, no, I got this. I'm managing it. I'm good. It's like, you're good right now.
For now, yeah.
But what about 20 years from now?
Yeah.
You know, I always think of our grandma who says all the time, like, it's too late for me now. She's like, I'm in my 70s. It's too late. I'm like, it's not too late. You can go. And she's like, no, it's too late. Like, it's like the damage is so deep at this point. It's like, how do you come out of it? You know? And that breaks my heart to hear and to know that so many people feel that way.
Oh, for sure.
That they're just supposed to live in the pain and the heartbreak and not get the help they need because they think it's too late or because they think they're strong enough to handle it on its own. Like, there's nothing wrong with like admitting that you're not strong right now and that you need help.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this and you've been thinking about going to therapy, I would really suggest that you try. You might have to like change up therapists a few times till you find one you really love. And that's part of the process too. And then if finances are an issue, I actually go through BetterHelp and I'm on financial aid right now. So.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is really nice. Otherwise I would not be able to afford therapy, but I pay like $120 a month or something, which really is not bad. That's for
not bad.
4 sessions a month.
Usually it's like 120 per session.
Exactly. Sometimes like 200 a session.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So they go off of your income and they'll work with you there. But like for me, I'll be honest, 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about quitting therapy because it's money that it's just, I don't really have. Like, I'm struggling financially right now. So I was like, what can I get rid of? Therapy.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I absolutely can't right now. Like, if anything, I need to be going more at this point in my life. And then later when I feel like I've healed or I'm in a better place, then that can be something that maybe I cut down to like once a month or whatever. But it's like a huge priority in my life right now to just
that's good.
Get better and get well. So I would encourage everybody to do the same.
Yeah.
Because it affects everything in your life when you're not okay.
I promised myself next time I'd be like feeling like that or like, you know, going through something, I would go back into it. But like right now I'm not going to say I can manage it, but yeah, finances and whatnot.
Yeah. It plays a big role.
I'm at least waiting a few months, but I do miss therapy. So it's super important. And it's important to know that like it's an option when you absolutely need it.
Yeah.
So
for sure. And it's nice to have somebody that you can text or call or message or whatever in like the middle of the night if you're struggling really bad and you need to talk to somebody. Like, that's what your therapist is for. So
yeah.
And through BetterHelp you can do everything through the app. So I could just like, I can make like a journal entry and then like send it to her and then she knows, so I don't have to explain everything. Because I'm one of those people, like, sometimes I have a hard time putting things into words when I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah.
But if I can write it, I'm a lot more honest and I'm a lot more open, and that allows me to be more vulnerable because I can just send it that way and then she can read it and then she knows. So
that's nice.
So yeah, if you're not okay right now, that's okay.
Yeah.
If you are okay right now, that's cool too.
This is our Disney mental health episode.
The highs and the lows. I mean, I think going to Disney would trigger my anxiety, like, even more. Like, I love Disney. I just wish I could go when literally nobody was there, which would never happen. But the amount of people,
the
crowd, and just the noise.
Apparently September is like the least busy month and it was still packed.
That's surprising, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a time everybody would want to go.
Yeah, no, they always recommend going in September, and the weather was so bad. It was like 90 degrees and humid. And California's never like that when I go. Like, when I go, I love California's weather. But we went during the hottest days, so it was rough.
Nasty.
I tried to do my hair and it instantly was like... So anyway, thanks for listening.
In our next episode, we are going to be interviewing our friend Jo.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
She is amazing and inspiring and just the greatest human, and you guys are going to love her. So we're really excited for that episode. We will see you then.
I'm going to be fangirling the whole time.
Even though you've like already met her,
Yeah.
and hung out with her.
Last time I was talking to her, I was fangirling the whole time. So
She's pretty great.
yeah.
All right. We will
Stay
see
tuned.
you in that episode.
Bye.